economy is an essential part of human society, but it seems to be in bad shape these couple of weeks. The stock market went down, the country is in a recession. Some think we will overcome, some say otherwise, but let's see what they really think. So we now leave you with a short report on how's the economy doing.
Good afternoon, this is Emilia Lee reporting from the UCR, and we're asking the opinion of the people about the economic issues of the country. So, what do you think about the economic issue we're going through in the country?
Okay, I don't believe in the crisis, okay? And I think the plans that we have to make, our plan, every people have to prepare or make their own plan. I have to prepare my plan with my family, and no crisis.
Okay, thank you very much. Buenas tardes, señor. ¿Qué piensa usted de la economía en este país?
Yo considero que la economía en este país está viendo afectada por un fenómeno a nivel mundial, que es la crisis económica. Y la crisis económica se debe a que una de las potencias, la economía de un país desarrollado como Costa Rica depende en gran parte de las exportaciones que hace hacia los Estados Unidos. Entonces, esas exportaciones van reduciendo. Lo mismo sucede con el ingreso de turistas norteamericanos, que ha reducido en cantidad, afectando hasta cierto punto de manera, podemos decir, significativa la economía costarricense.
Yesterday morning, a job reporter interviewed a financial businessman about some plans the government has in mind to affront the economic crisis.
In economics, capital refers to factors of production used to create goods. Capital goods may be acquired with finance money. In finance, capital refers to financial wealth, which is what helps to create or maintain a business. But nowadays it's hard to create or maintain a business because of the financial crisis. An expert on financing business spoke on Tuesday morning about the crisis. His name is Jason Miranda. Jason, what can you tell us about the crisis?
Well, thank you, good man. Well, it wasn't long since we knew the economy would start to go downwards due to spends on more and unnecessary things. Moreover, we decided to ignore it until it's just too late.
This is how the losses of recovery looked in 1990. This was in 2001, and this is what's happening right now. So how did this happen? So here's a short video about it.
So how did we get here? In the 8 years since the last U.S. recession, American banks were encouraged to take on greater risk, and legislation was passed to allow them to do so. The greater the risk, the greater the potential profit, and for years the risks paid off. Those profits were so enormous, nobody was willing to intervene, and critics were dismissed. The banks were so financially exposed, all it would take was one short, sharp catalyst to trigger a collapse. The U.S. housing market became that catalyst. When it went bad, the full extent of what the banks were doing was finally apparent.
Although the economy is in bad shape, companies around this country are already finding ways along with the government to ease the financial crisis, like for example the seed growth investment.
The seed of growth investments is something that the government has planned to lead aid to those who are experiencing the consequences of the crisis.
But there's still good news.
Yes. Jason, what do you think we should do to improve our economy?
Well, wait, is this thing on? Okay. Well, what we don't want to do right now is stop neither saving money nor fire employees, but on contrary, we want people to spend more money and put more money in.
Because of this, the nation's government has initiated a campaign which aims to create more jobs for the unemployment and decrease the unemployment percentage. However, the economic situation wouldn't have been worse if it wasn't thanks for the foreign companies who provide this country with more jobs. Just like the education section, foreign schools have established educational facilities in our nation which provides our people about some more than 1,000 jobs.
Hey, what the heck? Put the channel back. Sorry.
The U.S. economy shrank at an annual pace of 6.1% in the first quarter, almost as much as it did in the fourth quarter of 2008, according to a government report on Wednesday. It's the second recession in the country, and it concludes a vicious cycle, but not everything is bad news.
Yesterday night, President Obama gave out a speech which talked about the resolving nation's recession. He technically stated the stimulus bill as a spending bill.
So, well, then you get the argument, well, this is not a stimulus bill, this is a spending bill. What do you think a stimulus is? That's the whole point. No, seriously.
After the president's speech, we took a reporter up to Congress to meet up with one of the Secretary of States to discuss about Obama's stimulus plan.
Is it on? Is it on? Okay. Good morning. This is Mike Human reporting from the Congress. In a few moments, Secretary Bryan's going to come out with that door. There he is.
No comments, please. No comments.
I have a question, Secretary Bryan.
Okay.
I'm from GK Studios, Mike Human. I want to ask you a question. Since the president has been in 2 months in office, the first plan that he has made is the stimulus plan. What do you think about it?
I think the stimulus plan was done in a bad time, honestly, and I don't exactly agree with it. But to the concerns of the people right now, I think it could help for now, but for later we would need a better plan.
So, in the future, what do you think the stimulus plan will lead us to?
I think where the stimulus plan will lead us to depends on the government and on the decisions that the government takes. And I think this plan could work if we work at it together like a nation. No more comments, please.
But Secretary Bryan, Secretary Bryan!
No more. Sorry.
This is Mike Human from Yawa Studios reporting from the Congress.
It's around the world. The Chinese stock markets, Shanghai and Shenzhen, are down 60 and 65% this year.
Apart from the presidents around the world, mayors from all over the countries are trying to find a way out of the crisis too. Michael Bloomberg, an American businessman, philanthropist, and the mayor of New York City addresses the audience of Georgetown the steps that should be taken and steps that have not been taken.
Very, very big drop. And it's going to cause dislocations. There's some people who had investments that they really couldn't afford, had leveraged them. It's going to hurt some college endowment funds. It's going to hurt pension funds. It's going to hurt a lot of individuals, their 401k. But it filters through the economy because if you think that your assets are less, whether they are or not, it doesn't matter. You start not buying, not spending, and that slows down the whole economy.
Another possible solution for the economic crisis is the legalization of marijuana. The proposition of legalizing marijuana and taxing marijuana would save $7.7 billion per year in state and federal expenditures on prohibition enforcement and produce tax revenues of at least $2.4 billion annually. But if, however, marijuana were taxed similarly to alcohol or tobacco, it might generate as much as $6.2 billion annually. Given the high number of people who are incarcerated each year for marijuana offenses and the high cost of housing prisoners, legalizing marijuana is shown to be a viable option for this flattering economy.
12:57 afternoon, and that's about it for this hourly news.
Please synchronize us in our radio frequency 105.9. Good afternoon, and this has been your host, Mike Human, and
Chop Suey.